Good morning, everybody. The hour of 8:30 has arrived. I'd like to call to order our environmental committee meeting. If I can have a roll call, please.
Chair Rutledge,
Here.
Vice Chair Garcia,
Here.
Member Cahill, Member Evans. Here. Member LaPlante. Here. Member Covert.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment, Joy?
Is anybody? Nope.
No comment? Okay. Seeing none. Next, I'll ask for a motion on the approval of minutes 24. You can talk during your chair remarks. Oh, I skipped right over that, didn't I? Sorry about that. Yes, I am going to talk about chair remarks this morning. So I just wanted to thank Lucy Chang Evans for her leadership on the meeting between, Sierra Club and Monarch Project. And there were a variety of people in there concerned about our pollinator support in our county. And so we are working with the GIS division to map our pollinator deficits in the county. So we can help out those threatened species and make it a better county for pollinators and environmentally friendly. So Lucy, you got any comment again on that or?
No, I just think it's going to show us where our pollinators are, like what's happening to our habitat, and it'll give people even at home playing along at home the opportunity to see what they might be able to do in their own yards to plant pollinators.
Yeah, great to bring attention to that. So thanks for your ideas and efforts on that. Okay, we passed by public comment. So I'll ask for a motion on 24-2938, the approval of minutes from October 1st. All in favor? Aye. That motion carries. The parent committee approval of FIR 020324. I'll ask for a motion to acceptance and appropriation of the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus Recycling Education and Outreach Grant, $83,338 to facilities management. So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries. Staff reports. Joy's got a couple things to talk about. America Recycles Day to start.
So November marks America Recycles Day month. So we will be putting information out on our social media platforms, look for DuPage on Facebook and on Twitter. US EPA is a partner with Keep America Beautiful and America Recycles Day. This really supports US EPA's effort to achieve a 50% recycling rate by 2030. So keep an eye, share on our social media platform as much as you possibly can. The second item I did want to talk about is CMAP. So the US EPA has awarded CMAP a grant to do a comprehensive climate action plan. The county and several of the partners, there are actually 13 counties participating as well as Wisconsin and Indiana. CMAP has gathered much of the data from 2020. They've calculated emissions by the following sectors. So industry, buildings, transportation, and then another category, which is typically your waste and such. They have also measured carbon sequestration in the region, which is very interesting, using reforestation, agroforestry, and cropland. The area as of 2020 represents about 166 million metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions. So they will be setting goals. They plan to have a draft plan, hopefully for us to review within the next, I think, 6 to 8 months.
Yes.
It does have to be adopted, has to be finalized by December 1st, 2025. So I will keep the committee informed. We are sitting on that steering committee. Oh, sorry. Just want to make sure it was your. Okay. So December 1st, 2025 is when we expect that to be submitted to the US EPA. I will keep you updated as things progress. We'll bring the plan to this committee for discussion and possibly county board approval at that time.
Thank you, Ms. Jim. So are we also, as part of this, are we talking about any of the initiatives that we've done specifically here with the county? Like we've had more efficient, I think we've been ordering more efficient pumps. I think our carbon output might be reducing. Is that how granular we get with CMAP?
It's not going to be that micro. It's going to be it will be at the county level. However, they are looking at existing federal policies, national policies that along those lines, the new appliance standards, the electricity converting to more renewable energy under CEJA. So they're looking at all of those upcoming policies and they're coming up with a plan that takes us a little bit, A, accounts for those, but B, also takes us beyond those.
Okay, thanks.
Just to clarify, to my knowledge, there's gonna be like a business as usual, kind of, what does county's carbon emissions look like if we just continue on our path? And then what are some initiatives that we can take to start lowering that footprint?
Okay, well, thank you.
Can you tell us the timeline again, when we should expect that?
I would hope that we have a draft by late summer, early fall next year in 2025. This is a big lift, very big lift.
They plan on having a final draft by October, and then they're gonna give everyone that's involved a couple months to review it. And then, as Joyce said, December 2025 would be the hopefully final draft.
Okay.
We can't wait. I'm not a very patient person. Sorry about that. That's part of the job, though. Okay, next on our agenda is informational. We will receive and place on file SMP 002924. Recommendation for the approval of a contract issued to Scarce. Who's that? Park Professional Education Services for Stormwater Management and the Environmental Committee. If I could have
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries. Next, our presentation from that previously mentioned Scarce.
Good morning. So a lot to kind of cover. This is kind of the end of our contract December 1st. So I just want to talk about things that happened since our last time I presented. So Lyle Township got their earth flag. It was a lot of work. I'm grateful to Paula and everybody for helping us get this going. Sheila, this is a really great effort. They're collecting 5 days a week, electronics, textiles. They are doing a great job. They also do the cooking oil project with us. They've gone from almost nothing to 100%. It's just amazing what they're collecting. And it's a great area, kind of central south area. So it is a great place to have 5 days a week drop off for residents. It's really, really, really great. So go ahead. So the food scrap composting at the Arboretum, I met with, they have a new sustainability person named Rachel, met with her, I think May, and we talked about their 13 summer concerts and their fall festivals. We were able to help them implement recycling and full food scrap composting for all of those events. And now this year, they're planning to expand it to the school field trips with their lunches. So it has been a couple of meetings, a couple of phone calls, and a huge result, and such visibility for residents to see how to collect food scraps and that kind of thing. So we're grateful for that project. Go ahead. So we did a lot of recycling events. We did the Naperville one. We had 2 on the same day, so we could only be at the one by John Kern, Roselle and Winfield in September. And then October was Milton Township and Darien. Really great working with more and more groups. We're including more groups, getting more Rotaries involved, getting more churches involved. So it kind of spreads the word, spreads the information. Really great way to recycle things that can't be recycled or get things reused that, can't do it at the curb. Go ahead. Really excited. The Green Your Gig, the city of Naperville. I wish Patty was here. The city of Naperville, they have an employee picnic every September, August. When school gets back in session, they borrowed 300 dishes, all the forks, knives, and spoons, cloth napkins, a zero waste event with composting. There's their composting bins. Working with Ben, it was a lot of fun, and people are like, why aren't we always doing this? So kind of fun. And also in September, we did NAMI's. This is the 3rd time doing their pancake breakfast with all dishes and reusable. So Green Your Gig, 2 really big projects right around the same time. Go ahead. Oh, there it is, NAMI. So they did it a little different last year. They did it in the first 2 years. They've done it in June, which is great. A lot of the school programs aren't going. So September 14th was a little harder for families. They had a lower turnout, but we still were able to bring all the dishes, all the silverware, and then compost the food scraps. So, and then leftover food, because it was such a big event, Serenity House in Addison, Tri-Cities. So really spread the leftovers, not the cooked leftovers, the unprepared leftovers. Go ahead. So the Where's Away exhibit is in Villa Park for August, and we just moved it someplace else, I don't remember. But it is a great way to teach without us being there. There are 27 panels. We're able to update the panels when more things are recyclable, when something changes. Update the panels so that the people in that town get the most updated information. And it's great because it's there 7 days a week for 30 days, so 31 days. So we're grateful to have the libraries help us with that. And more businesses are borrowing it for short-term things. Where were we, Beverly?
Oh, boy.
Came DuPage Soil and Water Conservation District for their conference last week. Yeah, go ahead.
Right here.
So the reuse, we focus so much on reuse, and we wanted to just give you guys kind of an update. So just August, September, and October, almost 1,300 teachers came for supplies. And 80% of those, 85% of those are DuPage County teachers and organizations. So that's great. Bensonville picked up 700 wine corks, 23 ukuleles for Lowell School in Wheaton to start a ukulele
Where
club.
did you get 23 ukuleles?
A very wealthy school district gave us practically brand new
Awesome.
in cases. And this teacher heard that we had instruments. She said, "I'd like to start a ukulele club." And I said, "Oh, we have 23
Imagine that.
ukuleles."
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, her timing was great.
That's amazing.
If you guys know Lowell School, it's in a,
Mhm.
it has a lot of kids in lower income, housing and so forth. So she knew the kids weren't going to be able to afford a ukulele, much less ukulele lessons, and she plays the ukulele. So, and then we were able, with a grant from the DuPage Foundation, we were able to get 34 musical instruments repaired for students so that they don't have to pay the rent, making music kind of even for everybody, no matter your language or situation. Go ahead. So the repair fair was, again, very exciting, but the most exciting thing about this repair fair was we had 3 people to fix appliances. So they fixed vacuum cleaners. We kind of talked to people when they come, what else would you like to see repaired? And vacuum cleaners was a huge thing. So we had able to have appliances repaired. And 2 of our folks even took things home back to their shops because you can't bring everything with you to repair. So one lamp needed a whole metal piece forged, he said, and yada, yada. So I don't know, but 124 items were repaired. So, and the next one will be January 25th. And we already have most of our repair specialists signed up. Go ahead. So DuPage County, education, this year we did 285 programs, some at Scarce, some out at their facilities. So the left-hand picture is a Forest Glen School. They are recertifying their earth flag. So we did 2 assemblies. They can't fit everybody into one space. So 2 assemblies for those. And then we just had the Lombard Garden Clubs. Garden clubs are really anxious to learn about the pollinators, to learn about dark skies, to learn about composting. So it was really good. And also where to take hazardous waste. That is still one of the #1 things people are trying to understand. Go ahead. We get our things weighed that we get recycled. So the company that we use for our books, they pick up, I think in September, there were 8 pickups, and in October, there were 10 pickups, but that shows you so far this year. So we average over 4,000 tons, I guess it is, a month.
100,000.
Yes, yes, we will be over 500,000 pounds when we get just October's, and we still have November to get the full year. So that's a lot of paperback books, hardcover books, cardboard, and then white paper. They pick up in those black Gaylord boxes. And I mean, it costs us money, but it's the way to get those items. You can't put them in your recycling bin, books and those kinds of things. It's a lot of cardboard that comes in. So we're helping a lot of groups have the books that they need for reuse, but we're also keeping this much out of the landfill. We get our metal weighed, we get our pill bottles weighed for reuse. We get our inkjet cartridges reused, X-rays weighed. We have a lot of other weights, but this is just in the tree or fiber area. So it's a lot of pounds we're keeping out of the landfill. And again, most of this is DuPage County. Go ahead. Our smoke detector recycling so far this year, they've counted for us 247 smoke detectors that we've turned in. We have another batch that we turned in August, but Curie was purchased by Tradebee down below, a new name, and they're having trouble with their formulas and their computers, and go figure that. Isn't that surprising? And so we don't have the third numbers in there, but it was over 115. So we're really close to 400 smoke detectors kept out of the landfill with that radioactive chip. Go ahead. So upcoming recycling events, Wheaton, we're doing an expanded event this coming Saturday with eyeglasses and hearing aids and medical equipment, as well as our scrap metal and cooking oil, electronics and textiles. So that's coming up. We have extra help from the Wheaton Rotary and the Wheaton Union Lions Club. I love getting more groups involved. More ownership, right, helps you get the word out better. And then, of course, Woodridge doing their second one. This is the Crisis Servant Church. Then recycling events are ready for next year. We just got Lyle's date, March 15th, I believe. So I got that after this was done. But people are signing up and they're trying to make sure that they can get a paper shredding truck. That's one of the tricky steps is having enough paper shredding trucks that can come to the events to make sure we have enough companies. So we're grateful for all the towns who help with this huge way of reducing. I wish there was a way to weigh everything that happens at these events. But when you have 200 cars and 400 cars and 1,400 cars at Wheaton, it's really hard to get all those weights. I will also thank the DuPage County staff. This is the most paper bags for reusing for the food pantries. And you can feel the bread tag. So thank you, Ian, for getting that going here. And the health department sent me an email yesterday. They're starting the bread tag project. So go ahead. So upcoming events, we had the 2 dates for the pumpkin smash. So we had 16 collections already on the 2nd and the 3rd. And then we have, I think, 10 more coming up this Saturday. The cooking oil project, we have 7 locations that will be open on the Saturday. And then we now have 15 sites around the county for ongoing. So it's a great way to reduce our methane gas and help with that part of keeping our air quality clean. The Holiday Light program is already started. We're getting calls from schools who want to participate. Maywatts School down in Naperville, they've never done it before, but they contacted us. So we're pretty excited that we'll get a lot of that copper recycled, the brass that gets recycled, and keep it from tangling in recycling programs. Go ahead. These are the pumpkin smash sites. It was pretty wild. Hinsdale Rotary, this is their first. So that's a new one. And then 2 new programs in Naperville. Naperville had 3 programs and Naperville's so big. We need to have more programs there. Go ahead. These are the cooking oil pop-up sites. Wow, I was talking fast. But we're glad for all these towns taking the time to help on that Saturday. So Villa Park does it Monday through Friday, but they're going to be open that Saturday to kind of help you. So we count it as a pop-up site because they aren't usually open on Saturdays. Go ahead. These are the permanent sites. We can't wait for Woodridge to be ready again. We're getting closer, right?
Very close.
But we'll get closer to that, and that will really get us going. I'm still trying to, we had Clarendon Hills for a while. I'd love to get in that southeast corner a little bit better, but we're doing really well in the northeast corner and central. Go ahead. And then the Holiday Light Recycling, Maywatts School, West Chicago, these towns and schools have already contacted us. And I know more will be letting us know what they're doing. We do it year round and we work with a company in Addison now. So we get those weights as well for what we're keeping out of the landfill, getting recycled. Go ahead. Oh, that's it. Whoa. And then one of the things that we're working on and I'm talking to the garden clubs about is uplighting of trees. Some architect, I don't know when, thought it'd be really cool to put lights at the base of trees and shine them up into the trees.
That's been a thing for a while. Actually.
Yes. And we are really working hard to discourage that now. That's where the owls rest. That's where the moths rest, right? We need a place for our resting insects to not be lit up at night when they're trying to get their rest. So we're going to work really hard on reducing and telling people the problems of that. And we're working hard too about not raking up your leaves because the eggs and the nests in the ground, they need those leaves for insulation or cover, especially our lightning bugs. That's where all their eggs are under the leaves. So when we worry about not seeing as many lightning bugs, every time we rake up our leaves, we rake up the eggs. So those are the 2 big things we're working on additionally. Any other questions? Yes.
Did you want to show your handout?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me.
So Lyle, are they charging for e-recycling?
For TVs and
The TVs and monitors.
Just TVs and
Just
monitors?
TVs and monitors.
And I only am asking that because Winfield is charging for any electronics.
So
They were
we've
like
done- I met with-
$15. I'm
yeah,
like,
I met with
I've got
John.
a million other places I can take.
I met with
this.
John.
I think they've
John
got it
Souza.
worked out, but
Groot is gonna do it all for free next year.
yeah.
We've got that worked out so that people, Groot will fund it because Groot already has several days a week that they take electronics for free in their contract with West Chicago. So now they're gonna
Okay.
do it for that event as well. So there won't be that $15 charge.
Yeah, because I think that really
That
hit
hurt-
them
that
hard
hurt
over
them.
there.
And so this is just, I just want you guys to see kind of how the Repair Fair flyer looks, revive and thrive. But, so jewelry repair, household appliances and electronics, lamps and light fixtures, kitchen knives and scissor sharpening, glass and crystal repair. Obviously, glass and crystal, she can assess if she can repair it. She has to take it back to Joliet, where she lives, because you can't bring water wheels and all of that kind of stuff. So she kind of assesses if it's something that can be repaired and approximate how much it would cost. But most of the other things are repaired there, which is great to people. We had a community table, we had coffee and donuts. It was very, very Norman Rockwell, I had a feeling, kind of thing. But the flyer is we're trying to let more people know the different kinds of things that can be repaired. And I would love to see this project. We helped one other city and a park district start some repair fairs. So I'd like to see something where we can do it twice a year and somebody else can do it twice a year. Time to take the same team and move around to repair lots more instruments and people don't have to drive as far. And then instruments and appliances, they'll kind of get in their head and they'll look forward to those kind of events. So that will be a goal for this year. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me about the flyer.
Any other questions for Kay? Great work. Thank you so much, Kay, for what you do. Next on our agenda is old business. Do I hear any old business? Lynn?
We had a conversation before that I brought up about increasing our budget for environmental to expand our scope. And so you guys said you'd come back. Any word on that yet?
That's a Nick question. I don't,
So as far as expanding the, the scope of environmental, obviously that's set in the budget. If the board wants to pursue the surplus, at the end of the year, that's up to the board when we do have that discussion.
Okay.
And I will throw out, we are adding resources. My time, Ian's time, a lot of time. I've got Jeff assisting. We are throwing respectfully a decent amount more man hours at everything. And I've got some ideas of some programs that put together where I came from that I just need a little bit of time to kind of mold and put together.
Okay, that's really good to hear, because I really want to make sure that we address this head on and we don't let a budget pass without, we need to,
And I will
Put our
tell
money
you
where our
that
mouths
the
are.
change that we made to move environmental to facilities management.
Yeah.
That was a tactical decision
Okay.
in order to provide substantially more resources.
okay,
Just because they integrate so much better with what they do. And so you have a number of more resources that are readily available that are part of the team. So that in and of itself will have a substantial impact.
okay, I'm really glad to hear this, because I'm just going to state it again one more time for the record. Great work that we're doing, it's not enough. We need to really expand our scope and scale to the scale of our size of our county. I don't believe we're appropriately scaled for a county of 1 million people.
And what is it that you'd like to see?
I would like to see much larger scale. We need to zoom out a little bit and talk about all of the other environmental impacts that we are having and that we could have, like what we've done before already with the businesses, with not just individuals and education and school, but we need to raise it to the next level. We need to address and talk about climate change a lot more. That's what I would really like to see. We don't really talk about that a ton. It's hard to know what we can and can't do.
Well,
That's
yeah.
just it, right? So I think we'll get a lot more information in December of 25 with CMAP, right? And I think we need to be prepared to ask a ton of questions and have objectives laid out by then. Maybe we could have that as a goal, not just the budgetary resources, but also be really prepared for that report. And, really dive into it and see how we can apply that very sort of hands-on here in DuPage.
As chair of the committee, I'd like to see the conversation about home rule move forward because
Oh,
our
yeah.
hands are tied on a lot of things that we could do to better our environment
Perfect.
because we don't have the jurisdiction to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Great point.
Lucy.
Can I piggyback onto this? So we are part of the Greenest Region Compact through the Mayors and Managers Conference. Is there a way to quantify a lot of the stuff that we're doing countywide? You know, I just feel like we're doing so much work and we're not really giving ourselves credit for. a lot of the work
So as
that
far
we're
as quantifying, there is a report that, environmental does for all of the projects and programs that we do here on campus at our remote facilities. We do have kind of a scorecard that we have in our, now, does it get down to the micro level of, like you said, upgrading a VFD pump and things like that? Not necessarily, but there is a lot, I mean,
Yeah.
I know that, you know, Ian and Joy and the rest of the team spent a lot of time on that, report.
Okay.
And so, we are doing a good benchmark. And, I mean, can you do more? Sure. It's all about funding. I mean, the more funding you have, the more you can do. I mean, it's a push-pull. But I will tell you, the change that was made this year was one of the biggest changes that we've made in environmental in many, many years, with giving it the resources they deserve.
Yeah, I was just saying that there was a report that was given to the county board, back in, I believe it was, when did you
About a year
It
ago.
was, yeah, winter last year, sometime.
about the 10 years and what we've done
Yeah.
and stuff like that. We always could do more, absolutely can always do more. So I totally agree with that. I also want to remind people that there's sign recycling.
Thank you for, yeah.
Okay,
Campaign sign.
that's gonna be, I believe, this Friday, right?
Next
Next
Friday?
week.
Next week, Friday, and then the next Saturday, correct?
It'll be the 15th and 16th.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, I was gonna say
third,
14th.
Friday from like 3:30 to 5:30, and then Saturday here in the morning. And then we're
We kind of
also,
let people take a breath
Yeah.
before they
Hello.
decide to figure out the landscape of what they
Yeah,
want to
The bodies are
recycle.
still warm.
Yeah, I know.
I like that.
Not
yeah.
this weekend, follow.
Yeah.
And
But I just want to
it's-
remind you, we won't be meeting before.
It's really
then, so.
minor, that's manned by grounds. Joy struggled every
Yeah.
year to find the bodies, and we've got the bodies in grounds, and you know what, they're excited to come. I've got one guy manning the signs, one guy working, he falls behind, he calls the other guy, and they come in. So, I mean, there's a lot of syncs that work very well. Some of the manpower issues where Joy was short, we can dovetail it in, I think, well, so.
And we'll hope for a calm wind day.
okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Wow, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, that's it.
Alrighty. Anybody have any new business? Seeing none, without objection, we're adjourned. Yeah.